everybody, I'm Feeonnaa and welcome back to my garage. Finally, we are working again on my Supra. We've got some parts in and I've got an event coming up, so we need to be ready for that. Okay, so new alternators in, along with some engine mounts, an airbox, a couple of radiator hoses and some fresh coolant that I need to mix up. So that's today's plan. If we can get all of those in, I'll be very happy. This is the same factory spec. It's just a regular 100 amp alternator. It's nothing particularly different or special. It's basically per OEM. Which way does it go? That's probably important. That way, I think. Arms deep into the engine bay again. Clean hands go in, dirty hands come out. So I'll get both the bolts in, not quite tight. I'll get the cords plugged in and then I'll go back and try and get this serpentine belt on. And then we'll tighten it all up. One, nearly there, nearly, right. That'll do for now. Problem with working a car by yourself, you gotta keep getting out, getting more tools and then coming back again, up and down, up and down. Back in a second. Alright, so I've got the breaker bar on the serpentine belt tensioner and I'm just trying to get this belt on. Alright, so with that done, I'll just tighten up these other bolts and we'll call that done. One more. Ragga-dagga. That's it. Look at this. One job and I'm already covered. It's crazy. I think my car needs a clean. Alright, so we'll reconnect the battery and start her up. Make sure it's charging. Alright, so the battery's showing about 12.6 volts. And so we'll give her a crank. Alright. 14.4 volts, that's plenty. Okay, so new alternator in, quick easy job. Next I want to replace the coolant, change the radiator hoses and work out why the heater core's not working. Apparently it might be an airlock, so we'll have to obviously work on bleeding the system. What I want to do is using this clean oil pan, it's got measurements in it. I'm going to drain all the coolant into here and then I know how much has come out, so I can then put hopefully that much back in. I did pick up one of these little radiator attaching funnel things. They're all the rage. Do a good job too. It's taking forever to drain out. I don't know why. Oh well. Here's the old hose. It's got some bends and kinks in it. You can tell the rubber's fairly well perished. It feels even soft to touch. Clean up some of these connection ends. A little bit grotty. Give them a good wipe over. Finally stopped dripping. Put these clamps on. I know, amazing, right? Radiator hose. Alright, so the other ones, yeah, down the bottom, I think. Alright, that one's easier to find. Might be a bit more interesting to get to. One's easy to get to, this one. The other one's sort of buried up higher. I probably should have done this before I put the new alternator in. Oh well. Alright, so it's tucked right up there. It's got one of those original crimp clamps on it, which means it's probably never really been pulled off before. But that doesn't surprise me. There's a whole bunch of things about this car that have never been pulled off before, so why would a radiator hose be any different? I call that a good one to replace. It's gummy and it's no. Oh, again, out with the old, in with the new. Alright, I'm not a fan of jacking the front of the car up so high with the back on the ground, but this is what they recommend to get the coolant system bled, and it's because of this hose here. It's right above everything, above the motor, above the cap. So with that raised up and then this bubbler right up high like that, I'm hoping that we're going to be able to get this system fed. And because the car gave me about 6.5 litres, I should be able to get 6.5 litres or so, maybe a touch more for losses back in the system. I ended up undoing this, which was some weird clamp thing, so I've replaced the clamp as well. But I undid that just to get out, I guess, an airlock. And when even though I've been running it and the engine was warm, when I cracked it open, it would just air came through. And it was only once it was sort of a constant flow of fluid that we actually started getting heat inside. So we'll call that fixed, but I'm still not really happy with that one. Anyway, moving on. Power steering. We've got a leak just down here at the pump. I can sort of see that there. So we'll pull that off, replace the hose and seal it up. What I was saying about this car being very original, hoses are rock hard. They broke, split. There's no, like, it won't even flex. It's so hard. It's an original hose. The O-ring also hard. I ended up just cutting it. Alright, it was a bit of an effort getting in there, but the power steering hose there, main feed from the reserve down to the pump, plus a little O-ring down there. A bit of a blighter to get to, and but I jumped in and got it done. Right, so these are the engine mounts. You can see the original ones are, and they would be original. Everything else about this car's original have collapsed. The gap in the bottom of them is just pressing down. The easiest way to see them, having looked under above, is actually through the wheel arch. So I've taken the wheel out, and I'm just sort of eyeing up how these go, trying to work out how to get the bolts or the nuts off. There's only obviously 2 bolts, a bigger one, a smaller one, a positioning pin. They go in that way. So there's the engine mount just in there. You can see, yeah, easiest access through the wheel well. But, I still have to work out how I'm going to get to the nut that's on top of that. The one at the bottom's easy enough, just from under the car, but the one at the top seems like a bugger, so. Okay guys, so I've hit a snag and I don't know how to do it. The engine mounts are, they go in either side of the motor at the front, obviously, aimed in towards the car. The bolts at the bottom aren't quite straight down, but they're accessible from the bottom. The bolts at the top, I don't know how to really get to them. They're in a near impossible position, and I'm not sure whether I should be maybe unbolting what they bolt to an engine, but there's no clearance, and so we'll skip these. We'll come back. We'll do a bit of Google, bit of searching up. Maybe you guys know an easy way to get replace the engine mounts in a Mark IV Supra. Comment below. Otherwise, they're going to be done later, another day. Alright, so last task for today that I wanted to have a go at. Locally, to get through your inspection, you're not meant to just have an open to the air pod filter. You're supposed to have things enclosed, and the easiest way is just to enclose your pod filter in a stock air box. So for now, at least, just to get through inspection, I'll be just picked up a few pieces, and we'll just, for the most part, return part of the car to more of a stock look with a stock airbox. But it's going to have to be a bit of a custom fit, so this is probably going to be the fiddliest part of what I'm doing. Wish me luck. Okay, so the intake that goes over the radiator's not a problem. It's this space here that we want to fit in an airbox a little bit like that. So I'll pull out some of the current piping, and we'll fit the box in, and then we'll work out a way of how we're going to route this. I've got a feeling I'm going to be cutting a little bit off the back here, because I don't actually want to change the way it's piped. I just want to put the pod filter inside the airbox, just as a for now solution, not as a forever solution. Refit the factory airbox. It does have a pod filter in it, but it looks a lot neater that way. I'm not a fan, but it's just the local requirement. So here's what it is. We'll do something a bit later, something after inspection maybe, but for now, that is done. Alright, so it's been a long day. I've got a lot of things done. I've got to work out how to get those engine mounts in. I've got some other parts to put in, but they're more cosmetic things that they can wait. I'll chase up the mechanical stuff first. But she runs and drives again, and I've got an event coming up, so we're ready to go. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye.